Hi, my name is Ali, and in this video we'll be taking a look at the buttons LED example on the Educational Booster Pack MK2. We'll be covering a couple features on the MK2, which includes the two buttons right here and the LED right here. Specifically, we will be looking at how to use these two buttons to turn this LED on and off and change the colors. You will also be learning the basic Energia coding behind this example.
Opening up Energia, you will want to go to File, Examples, Educational Booster Pack MK2, Buttons LEDs. We'll expand this window here. And as you can see here, the code is already loaded and ready to go to upload to your Launchpad. So make sure your Launchpad is connected to your laptop and click Upload. And now let's take a look at our Launchpad. As we move on, void setup is where the actual programming begins. Here, we're setting our pins as outputs and inputs with the function pin mode. The LEDs will be outputs and the buttons will be inputs. Inputs mean information is being put in, while outputs are where the information is sent. Examples of common inputs include keyboards or mice. Examples of outputs include a monitor or a printer. As we move further down, here's where the fun part begins. The first line over here shows the state of the push button value. The if and else statements are for true and false readings. In this example, it shows that if the button is pushed down, then an LED will turn on, otherwise it will stay off. The otherwise is represented with the else statement right here. The digital right is for having something on or off. In binary, it is either a 1 or a 0, 1 being on, 0 being off. And here, we represent it as high and low. In this particular section, it is possible for us to combine and mix colors if we wanted to. Now it's time for us to change the code to make it our own. First, let's save a copy of this file. Click File, Save As, and change it to an example. Hit save. Now that this is an example, we can change the code as much as we want without being worried that it will mess up the actual example that we had. Now that we've saved a copy, it's time for us to change the code to make it our own. First, we're going to add the red LED to the code. So we must define it in our variables. And I'm just copying the format up here so that the syntax is correct. And I'm using the pin 39 because that is the pin associated with the red LED. Now we must also add the pin mode for this LED and set it as an output. Now let's scroll down under void loop and change LED green to LED red. We must change this one as well. Now let's hit upload and see what happens. If you ever get this error, it's simple to fix. Just unplug your USB, plug it back in, and click upload once again. Now let's see what happens on our Launchpad. You may be asking right now, what if you didn't want a red, blue, or green LED to show up when you click a button? Let's say we wanted yellow. Let's take a look at the link over here and see what combinations we can make. The red and the green together will make yellow. The red and the blue together will make purple. The green and the blue together will make a cyan. So now let's go look back at our code and see if we can combine the red and green to make yellow. So first we'll change the button 1 to make a yellow LED. We must add the same code twice, except change red to green. And same thing with low. And change red to green again. Click upload and see what the result is. Now, you may be asking at this point, how would I make an orange LED? If we look at the link over here, you see that orange is also between green and red, but when we used green and red together, it made yellow, not orange. Let's take a look at this other link over here, which shows us over 500 different colors and the designated red, green, and blue values that we should put for each of these colors. So let's look under orange. And we see 255, 165, and 0, meaning that we should put the value 255 for red, 165 for green, and 0 for blue. Let's go back to our Energia right here. So because this is digital write, it will only let us to put either high or low. However, let's say we change this to analog, and change this also to analog. Now we'll change this to 255. We'll change this to what the other value was, which is 165. Click upload. Let's see our result. You may be asking, how could I click one button and have a random set of colors appear? So first, under pin mode, we should add random seed in parentheses 1 followed by a semicolon. And under the if statement, we should add also the blue LED so that we get combinations of the red, green, and blue LEDs and not just the red and green LEDs. We'll change all of these values to 255, which is the maximum value. The values range from 0 to 255, 0 being off and 255 being the brightest. So if we put 255, that means when we do a random sequence, it will generate a value between 0 and 255 for all of them, creating over 1,000 different colors. So for this, we also must add random to each of these values. And at the end, we must also add a delay so that these values will change after a certain period of time. Let's put 100, which is for 100 milliseconds. Click upload and let's see what happens.
For a more in-depth explanation of the coding, you can visit energia.nu and go to the reference tab. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Other than that, thanks for watching.